Hi, this is Mr. Wartsky again, and this is the second screencast of the Intro to Vertebrate presentation. This shouldn't take that long. We don't have that much to finish, but if you didn't get a picture of the amniote egg, which is a key evolutionary adaptation for reptiles, please take that down right now. Talked about all the different functions, like the shell was protection, the same thing with the chorion here. The albumin is the protein, which acts as food for baby. We have the yolk, which is the fatty food for the baby, the allantosis, which collects the waste, and then we have the embryo, which will become the baby. Now, if you notice, the amnion, which is the sac that surrounds the baby, keeps the baby nice and protected. Oh, that's so cute. That's so beautiful. Now, in class Reptilia, all organisms have an alimentary canal with a cloaca and a stomach. Notice that not that many organisms have a crop and gizzard. They have a 3.5 chambered heart, which means that their ventricle, the bottom chamber, is partially divided, not all the way. It's 3.5. Crocodiles, though, have a 4 chambered heart, very efficient. And all reptiles have a great sense of smell, and they can sense heat. Class Aves, 8,600 species of birds. Now, they're all endotherms. This is huge. This is the first time you see endotherms. Everything else was ectotherms. Internal fertilization, but usually the males have no penis. The only type of birds that have a penis are waterfowl. Ducks, geese, they all have a penis. Oviparous, we can talk about it in class, but oviparous, they lay eggs. Good. 4-chambered heart, different too. A hollow skeleton, still made of bones. Very efficient kidneys. They also get rid of their waste, their nitrogenous waste, as uric acid. No urinary bladder go. So when a bird has urinary bladder though, so when a bird has to go, it just goes. It cannot hold its waste. They have a complex set of lungs, really complex. It's found in their around organs, in their bones. It actually has a one-way flow. It goes around the lungs and back out their mouth. It's really neat. Digestion, they have an alimentary canal with a cloaca. Their beaks are specific for a food source, only one type of food source, but these things have no stomach. They have a crop, which stores, and then a gizzard, which grinds. So their gizzard actually acts as their teeth and their stomach, because the stomach can also grind up food through their muscular contraction. Class Mammalia, the last class of the subphylum Vertebrata in the phylum Chordata. Mammals are hairy animals that produce milk. Basic definition right there. Hairy animals that produce milk. We are endothermic along with aves. Internal fertilization, penis involved. Oviparous and viviparous. Right? So oviparous, that's egg layer. Yes, there is a type of egg-laying mammal. And viviparous for all the other types of mammals. We have a 4-chambered heart, an alimentary canal with a stomach, efficient pair of lungs, and we use a diaphragm, a muscle that helps contract, which allows the lungs to expand. We have very efficient kidneys, but we don't produce uric acid like the reptiles and birds. Instead, we produce urea, which is less toxic. We also need to drink more water because of it. There are 3 groups of mammals, and they're all based on how we reproduce. So monotremes, mono means one, treme whole, one whole, they have a cloaca. So we have a type of mammal that has a cloaca. The only mammals that have. These mammals are egg layers. They're oviparous. The duck-billed platypus and the spiny echidna, both found in Australia, those crazy Australians. The females, there's no real set of nipples. Instead, the females will sweat milk, because remember, milk is modified sweat, produced by modified sweat glands. So they actually produce their milk through their sweat glands. They sweat it out, and the babies lick their fur. Marsupials is the second type of mammal. They are pouched mammals. So the young develops internally, right? But then the immature young will leave the womb and climb into the mother's pouch. There they will attach to the smaller of the two nipples. There's a small nipple and a big nipple. Attaches to the smaller of the two nipples, and that's how the baby gets its nutrition, from the nipple, not from the placenta, but from mom's nipple. The opossum is the North American's only marsupial. The others are found in Australia. And then the last type of mammal are the placentals. So our young develop internally, and now the baby is fed with the placenta. The baby develops in the uterus and then will leave when it's fully grown. Mothers still need to feed the baby through milk when the baby's born, and the milk is produced in mammary glands. The milk. Now, there's no more cloaca in marsupials and placentals. There's a separate opening for the digestive system and reproductive system. Now, in females, there's a third exit for the excretory system, but not in males. And that's it for our travels and a brief introduction into vertebrates. If you have any questions, please read your textbook, watch the video over again, or ask me in class tomorrow. Have a great night.